All right, well, welcome everyone. I know I've got Kate on here live with me. My name is Aron. Welcome to Project SOAR Fits. This class is a full body workout that's adapted. That means I'm going to show you exercises, but if there's something that works better for you, I'll try to give some options. If you're not live with me, it's hard to know like how I might adjust it. So feel free if you're doing this on YouTube later, if there's something that didn't work for you and you weren't sure what to do instead, send me a message, give me a call or a text, and we'll work together to make sure that the workouts I'm creating work for you. Again, this is a full body workout. It's adaptable. And also, if you are one of the Project SOAR veterans that is going to be coming on the skiing trip or the climbing trip, I've specifically put exercises into this plan that are going to help get you fit and functional so that you can enjoy your day on the mountain or your day climbing as much as possible and hopefully not have too much soreness afterwards, because we're going to get as fit as we can so that we can do that and not get sore. So anyway, today we'll do a little bit of a warm up and a stretch to get ready. And then we're going to do a Tabata workout. So if you did Tuesday's workout with me, this is going to be really similar. We'll have 15 exercises, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds break, and then we'll do that again 3 times. So we'll have 3 rounds of the same 15 exercises. Some of the exercises are repeats from Tuesday. Some are new, but you've seen them before. And again, if anytime you want to change something up so that it works for you, feel free to do that. So let's go ahead and get started. I hope you've had a chance to warm up. I know it's chilly out today. So, if you didn't go for a run or anything like that, we'll warm up together for just 2 minutes, really quick. If that's the only workout or warm up you get, that's fine. But if you ever get a chance to try to warm up before so that we can get our blood pumping, it's always good to get a little cardio in addition to these strength exercises that we do. Although we will get a little cardio with this. Anyway, so let's start with the warm up. It'll take 2 minutes. I like to do 30 seconds of 4 different exercises. So I'm going to jog and then jumping jacks and then high knees and squats. You can change that up to any 4 exercises you want, or you can just do the same exercise for 2 minutes just to get warm. So I'm going to start my watch and we will start with those first 30 seconds with a jog. Let's go. I don't play music on my side because I think that it would interrupt you being able to hear me. But if you like working out to music, feel free to play your own playlist. I know sometimes I get really motivated by music. So if you're one of those people too, go ahead and play something that gets your blood pumping. All right, that's the first 30 seconds. I'm going to move on to jumping jacks. You can do jumping jacks and jump up. My knees aren't really feeling that today, so I'm going to do an alternative. I'm going to keep this low impact and step side to side. So again, this is your workout. I'm going to give you options when I can, but feel free to do what works best for you. Maybe different tomorrow than it is today. There's the second 30 seconds. Let's move on and do high knees. So lifting those knees up. If you can, give them a little tap. See if you can bring your hands up about waist height. Get your knees up there or as high as you can. And last 30 seconds, I'm going to do squats, air squats. Again, just to get my heart pumping. And done. That was 2 minutes. I feel pretty warmed up now. If you need a little bit more of a warm up, feel free to pause this if you're watching this on YouTube. Get your warm up in. We are going to do some dynamic stretching before we start our workout, just to make sure all our joints are ready for what we're about to do. And I'm going to go right back to those squats, but I'm going to slow them down a little bit, and I'm going to do a few different angles. So I'm going to bring my feet really close together. We're going to do 5 with feet close together, trying to keep the chest lifted. You can have your hands in front of your chest, or you can bring them to your hips, whatever helps. And just sort of exploring your range of motion today. See how all your joints feel. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Great job. Let's take this just a little bit wider, maybe about hips distance with your feet, and then do 5 more. And then let's do 5 more squats and take it even wider. Let your toes open up wider than your heels. My heels are a little bit wider than my shoulders, so that's a good place to be. And we'll do 5 more. Great job. All right, we're going to work a little bit on hip mobility, since that is so important for our climbing and skiing. So I'm going to use a chair to help me balance, let my weight come into that inside foot, pick up the other knee, and then make a big circle, and then come back and around. Let's do that 5 times in this direction. And then let's take it the other way. So make the circles in the opposite direction with that same leg 5 times. And then let's stay on this leg and give that foot a little kick up, and then kick the leg back. So we're squeezing that glute. And again, just working through that hip joint. We'll do that about 10 times. Just nice swing there. And then let's bring the leg up front, and then we'll go side to side. So crossing the body and then back out. We'll do that about 10 times. Eight, 9, and 10. Great job. We're going to switch that to the other side. I'm going to move my chair over here and let my weight come to the other leg. And then same thing, lift up that outside knee, open up, and then bring it back around. So we're making a big circle in that hip joint. And after we go around 5 times in that direction, we're going to do the same thing and just switch the direction of those circles. And then let's go ahead and swing that foot forward, swing it back. And we'll do that about 10 times. Seven, 8, 9, 10. Let's bring that foot up in front, and then we'll go side to side 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one. Great job. We'll do a little side to side movement. So I'm going to start on one side and take a step to the middle and a step to the side, and then reverse it. So you can keep this as step to side. If you want to take it a little deeper into a squat, you can just add a little bit more there. Again, we're still in that warm-up phase. So this is our chance to kind of see how we feel this afternoon so that we can make other decisions about how we're going to move during this workout so that we can make ourselves stronger and more functional rather than causing an injury. All right, let's go back one more time and then we're done with these. All right, we're almost done with our warm-up. Let's shift to our upper body. Let's do some shoulder circles. So just checking out this range of motion in our shoulders, and you can keep your hands at your side and lift your shoulders up and then pull your shoulder blades together and down and roll through just like that with your hands at ease at your side. Some people like to make chicken wings. If you want to put your hands on your shoulders and do that same movement, you're welcome to, or maybe even with your arms extended out. You could even do all three like I just did, or you can just pick which one feels best for you. And then let's switch directions. And again, you have all those different options. Great job. I think that's enough for our shoulder rolls. Let's do some side bends. And we'll do this, instead of holding, we'll go side to side. So I'm going to keep my hands at my side and side bend in one direction. Inhale, come back to the middle. Exhale, side bend to the other. And let's do that a few times. You could even lift one arm overhead and then the other. Or you could have both arms overhead and go side to side. Again, whatever feels best for you. Let's make sure we're even to both sides. I think I started going this way, so I'll go this way one more time. And then release. And the last thing we're going to think about is just checking with our neck and shoulders, doing a little bit of movement there. So I'm going to let my ear fall towards my shoulder to stretch this side of my neck. And then let my chin drop and go towards the chest and then roll to the other side. Now I'm stretching this side of my neck. And again, we'll do that as a movement. Nice and slow, no reason to rush. Just noticing what we're feeling as we move side to side. Allowing any tight spaces to maybe open up a little. Let's go to the other side one more time, just so we're even. And then we'll come back to the middle, lift our gaze. That is pretty warm. If you feel like there's anything else you need to do to get ready for our workout, go ahead and do that now. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can pause whenever you need to. I'm going to get us started with that Tabata workout. So again, we're going to do 15 exercises. Each exercise, we're going to spend 20 seconds on doing the exercise and then 10 seconds with a pause. Although usually we're moving because we're trying to get to the next exercise. So I'm not going to give quite as much instruction or alternatives just because we're going to be moving so fast. But if you ever have a question or a concern, please reach out to me. We're going to start with squats. So go ahead and get ready. You can do air squats, or if you want to use a weight or the bands, remember you can always bring those in if you feel like you need a little more intensity. I'm going to stick with the air squats today. And we'll start in 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, begin. So you can go quickly, but make sure your form stays good. We're halfway through. 2, 1, and done. We got 10 seconds to get ready for the next exercise, which is lunges. So you can do those lunge jumps like we did on Tuesday, but I'm going to keep it low. I'm going to step forward and back and then switch legs. So if you want to follow me with those low ones, you can either step forward or backward, whatever feels better for you. We're halfway. Or if you want to get that bounce, you can do a lunge jump. And 10 seconds to move on. I'm going to do a wall sit. If you don't have a wall available to you, come into a squat and hold it. Otherwise, I'm going to lean right against the wall and sit. And we're going to hold this for 20 seconds. We're halfway through. And done. Next exercise is calf raises. So we're going to come up onto the balls of our feet and then back down. So let's go. 20 seconds. There you go. We're halfway through these calf raises. Again, if you wanted to add weight, you could. I'm not going to today. And we're done. Next thing is our plank. So I'm going to bring it down to the mat. Remember, you can do plank on your wrists or forearms. I'm going to go on my forearms. You could also lower to your knees if you prefer. I'm going to stay on my toes. Lots of ways to do planks. We're halfway through. Two, one, and done. Let's stay on the floor and go right into our side plank when the buzzer goes. And lift those hips. 20 seconds on this side, and then we're going to take it to the other side for the next 20-second interval. We're halfway through. Remember, you can do other options. You can bring that foot in front to help support you. Let's switch right over so we're ready when the buzzer rings on this side.
Let's go.
And left. Halfway through. And let's get back on our feet. We're going to do a shoulder press. Again, you can use weight. I think, Kate, I saw you have the band or the bar before. That's a great thing to use. I'm going to stay with air presses. So imagining that I'm still pushing something heavy, even though I'm not using any weight today, all the way up to extend, and then bring it back down, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then repeat. So keeping that control on the way up and the way down. We are done with shoulder presses. We're going to move on to tricep dips. Remember, you can do those on the floor. I like to do mine against a chair. So let's go. 20 seconds. Halfway through. Great job. We're going to move on to tricep push-ups. Remember, there's different ways you can do this. I'm going to stay in this tabletop position, and the elbows come back towards my thighs. You can go down as far as works for you, and you can keep control. Halfway through. All right. Next is bicep curls. So I'm going to stand up again. Again, you could use hand weights or a band. I'm going to do this just using that strength of my mind. Imagine that I'm curling up something really heavy, and it's still heavy as I lower it back down. We're halfway through. I'm going to speed it up just a little, but I'm still imagining that it's really heavy. All right, last few exercises are all our core work, and we're back on the mat. We're going to start with crunches. Let's go. Halfway through these crunches. 2, 1, rest. We're gonna stay on our back. The next thing we're doing is those bicycle twists. Let's go. So we're twisting one elbow to the opposite knee and then switching halfway through. Oh, let's stay here. This next one is going to be a hold. So let's press our low back down to the mat and then lower our legs as far as you can and still keep that connection with your low back. You don't want to lift it up. And then we're going to hold. We're halfway through already. That's it. Last exercise of this round, we're going to do flutter kicks. So we're staying right where we are, keeping that connection, low back to the mat. And let's flutter kick. Halfway through flutter kicks. This is our last one this round. You're doing great. And rest. This is a longer rest. We got about 30 seconds. And then we'll start back with those squats again. We're going to do all 15 exercises just like that. 2 more times. If you need a longer break, remember, if you're doing this on YouTube, just press pause. Come back when you're ready. Starting in 3, 2, 1, 20 seconds of squats with control. Good form here. Halfway through those squats. 2, 1. Getting ready for those lunges, whatever those lunges look like for you. 3, 2, 1, begin. Halfway through. 2, 1. You are done with those. We are going to move on to that wall sit. Remember, if you don't have a good wall to sit against, come into a wide leg squat and hold that. That's a good alternative. Breathe. We're halfway through, more than halfway now. 2, 1. Getting ready for those calf raises. 2, 1, begin. Lifting the heels up and lowering back down with control. Halfway through. 2, 1. Great job. Let's bring it down for those planks. Begin. 20 seconds holding in your plank. Draw that belly button up to your spine to stay solid. Halfway. Let's get set up for that side plank. Starting 3, 2, 1, lift. See if you can lift that hip a little higher the second half. Really give it your all. 2, 1, let it go. Let's switch over to the other side. 2, 1, lift. We're using the core strength on the side of our abdomen, so our obliques. That's what helps lift us up. Let's lift a little higher the second half. 2, 1, great job. Let's come right back up and do those shoulder presses again. Remember, if you want some weight, go ahead and use it. I'm just not doing it today.
Let's go.
Body weight can be a great way to build strength, but if you like a little weight, you're welcome to use that as well. Let this workout be your own. We're halfway through these shoulder presses. And actually, we're about halfway through our whole workout now. So great job. Let's move on to those tricep dips. 2, 1, begin. Halfway. 2, 1, done. Right back down to tricep push-ups. 2, 1, begin. Halfway. Great job. We're moving on to bicep curls.
Let's go.
Squeezing up and down with control. Squeezing those biceps. Halfway. Let's get back on the mat with our abs at the end of this round, starting with crunch. Begin. Halfway through these crunches. Little rest here before we move on to those bicycle twists, but we're staying right here so we get a little rest. Let's begin. Twisting to one side and then switching to the other. Halfway through these. Great job. Let's get ourselves ready. This next one is that hold. So really think about pressing your low back down to the mat and then start to lower your legs, keeping that connection, and hold here. Halfway through. You can always bend your knees if you need to too. All right, little rest, and then we do those flutter kicks, and then this round is done. You're doing so well. Let's get ready for those flutter kicks. Last exercise of this round. Really keep that connection of your low back on the mat. That's how we keep that abdominal muscles, those abdominal muscles engaged. We're halfway through. 2, 1. All right, little 30-second rest. If you need more, hit pause. We're going to do that whole thing one more time before we cool down. So use the restroom, get some water, stretch a little. We're going to start back with those squats in 10 seconds. 2, 1, let's begin. Last round. You are doing so good. My heart rate is up. I don't know about yours. So even though we're working on a lot of strength, still am getting just a little bit of cardio here. All right, next is those lunges. 2, 1, begin. Halfway through. 2, 1. Getting ready for that wall sit or that squat hold, whichever one works best for you.
Let's go.
20 seconds. Halfway through. 2, 1. Oh, those are so tough. Next is those calf raises. 2, 1, and let's lift up and lower down with control. If you need to have your hand on the wall or a chair for a little balance, that's fine. We're halfway through. Excellent. We are coming back down to the mat for our planks.
Let's go.
Begin. Halfway through. You got this. Hold steady. Keep breathing. 2, 1. Rest and get ready for your side plank. And let's lift those hips. Crunch right here through those lateral obliques. That's what helps us lift up. So we're building that core strength. That's also going to help us ski, and it's going to help us climb. 2, 1. Back down and switch to the other side. And let's lift it up. Halfway through, see if you can lift those hips just a little higher, crunching just a little more right here. Great job. Let's bring it back up to our feet for those shoulder presses.
Let's go.
And let's go. 20 seconds. Keep those shoulder blades squeezing together as we squeeze up and back down. Great job. Just a few seconds left. Beautiful. Let's move back into those tricep dips.
Let's go.
Remember, you can also bend the knees for these tricep dips. That takes a little bit of the intensity out of it. I know I need that a little bit less intensity this third round. I'm really feeling my triceps burning. I don't know about you. All done. Tricep push-ups. Ah, more triceps. We can do it.
Let's go.
20 seconds. Halfway through. Last one. Great job. Bringing it back up. We're gonna move on to those bicep curls. 2, 1, again, 20 seconds. With control. Even if you don't have any hand weights or the bands, Imagine you're lifting and moving something really heavy. Really squeeze those biceps. Great job. We're more than halfway through. Good job. We're almost done. We just have that ab section, and then we are all done, and we get to cool down. Let's start with crunches. Halfway through crunches. Keep going. Ooh, little rest, and then we'll move on to those bicycle twists. Let's go. 20 seconds. Let's twist this out. Really making these last couple minutes of our workout strong. Ooh, little rest. Make sure you're pressing your low back into the mat for these last two. And lower your legs as low as you can, keeping that connection. If you need to bend your knees a little bit, that's fine. But see if you can pull your belly button to spine and really press the low back down. Hold here. We're more than halfway through. Oh, these are tough. That's it. Little rest, and then our last exercise of the day. You were almost there. Flutter kicks. Just 10 seconds left. You got this. 2, 1. Good job. Feel free to give yourself a little low back massage here. Maybe rock it out a little. Whew. Catch your breath. We're going to do a little bit of cool down and stretching, and then we are done with this. All right. Let's stretch our quads. They got a lot of work today. You can stay on the ground and lay on your side and stretch it back. I'm going to stand up just because I think it's easier for you to see me. But we're essentially doing the same thing. We're going to bend the leg we're stretching and grab back to the ankle or the top of the foot. If you ever feel like you can't reach that, you could always use a strap. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be an old tie or a belt from a bathrobe or something. And then that will, if you put it around your foot, you can grab the other end and lift. So don't worry if you don't have that range of motion or that flexibility. You probably have something around your house you can use to help you get into this stretch. And then we're not just stretching the front of this leg, we're also stretching the front of the hip and our abdomen and our chest. So avoid collapsing forward. See if you can lift the chest at the same time. And don't forget to breathe. Our muscles need lots of oxygen to work and to heal after these hard workouts. So make sure you're breathing. Let's take one more breath here, and then we're going to switch to the other side. So let go. And then we'll stretch the other leg. If you're standing, sometimes it's helpful to have something to help you with your balance. But you could also practice challenging your balance. And then if you need to touch it, you can come back to it. Just a nice way to work in a little balance practice at the same time we're stretching if you're doing this standing. Make sure you don't lock out that standing leg. At least keep a little tiny bend in that knee. Great job. Let's release. And let's bring it down to the mat for some lunges. I'm going to take my right foot forward and my left foot back. You can do a high lunge like this. I'm going to lower this back knee. So this is another option. We'll start with a little side bend to the side with the bent knee. So that's my right knee. I'm doing a side bend. I can keep my hand at my side or I can reach overhead. And then come back up nice and tall. And once you're tall, we're actually going to twist to that bent knee. And like I said, you could also do this with that leg lifted. It would look like this. So very similar. You just take the pressure off your knee. So whichever works best for you. And then let's come back to center. And then we're going to come into that half monkey stretch if you're down on the ground like me. So that front leg will straighten and will fold over it. And if you're still got that back knee lifted, it's pretty much the same thing. You fold over that front leg, straighten the knee, and fold over it. So again, you've got options here. Do what feels best for you. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then let's switch sides. So whichever leg was in front, we're going to put the other one in front. Remember, you can do that high lunge or that low lunge. I'm going to stay in low lunge this side, since you've already seen what the other one looks like. You feel like you're steady here. If you want to move into that side bend, we're bending towards the bent knee, the front leg. Don't forget to breathe here. Let's come back up, nice and tall, and then we'll twist. Come back to center. We'll start to straighten that front leg and bend over it. If you're on the floor like me, you'll lift up the toes. If you've got the back knee lifted and you're folding over the front leg, you could still lift the toes if you wanted. It's a lot more challenging. But if you don't feel much of a stretch and you want to feel a little more sensation, that's a way that you can bring a little more sensation in. But if you're already feeling a stretch, don't worry about doing that. More sensation doesn't mean that it's better. Sometimes our body actually kind of resists when we do that. So if you're already feeling something, you're already getting everything you need. You don't need to go deeper into it. Couple more breaths here. And then let's come out of this. And let's come onto our seat. And straighten our legs out in front of us a little bit wider than our shoulders. So you don't have to do great big splits, just enough that you're creating a little angle here. And see how like my legs want to sort of open up? Let's rotate through our hip joint so that our thighs and our knees and our shins and our toes are all pointing right up to the ceiling. We're pushing down through the sits bones, those bony part of our seat. We're lengthening through the spine by pulling in on our belly so we're nice and tall. And let's turn towards one leg and fold. You can keep your hands on your leg. You can put them on the floor. If you're able to touch your toe, that's fine. You don't need to though. And again, if you have a belt, this is a great time. You could even use a belt here on the ball of your foot and then take either end in your hands. And that helps you fold a little deeper. But these are all valid options. Do whatever works best for you. Let's come back up tall. We're gonna turn to the other leg. So whichever one you started with, we're turning to the other side and we're folding over this leg. One more breath here. And then let's come back up tall. We're gonna face right down the middle. And then the same thing, we're gonna hinge through our hips, keep the back nice and long and fold forward. So your hands might come to your legs. They might come behind you or in front of you. You could even grab onto those feet again. See what happens if you pull your belly button in towards your spine as you're folding forward. Does that help you fold a little deeper? And inhale, let's come back up. Let's come on to our backs with bent knees. And we're going to cross our right foot or our right ankle over our left knee into a figure 4. You can stay here just like this. This is a beautiful way to get a stretch. Some people like to bring their legs in towards their chest. So if that feels good to you, you can do that. Some people like to do the opposite and lift their chest up towards their thighs. So if you do want to do that, that's fine too. And then when you're ready, you can lower your legs or lower your torso back down if they were lifted up. And let's switch sides. So the right foot goes down, the left ankle is over right knee. And again, you can stay right here, or if you want to come into one of those other options, you are welcome to. And then let's lower back down if we're lifted up. Move that foot off the ankle. We're going to come up to seated. And we'll do one last little movement here before we close out our practice. So let's sit up nice and tall. We'll put our left hand on the floor and inhale, reach our right arm overhead. And then turn our body towards the floor and sweep around and come to the other side. And then come back up. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. Right hand goes down, left arm goes over, turn the torso so you're facing, and then sweep around and come back up. Let's do that one more time to each side. Turn and sweep and come back up. Last one. Reach, turn, sweep, and come back up. And let's take a big breath in and let it go. We are all done. That was a great workout. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me. I would love to hear your feedback about this workout or any of the other workouts. And I hope to see you again next week. I'm going to stop the recording